Alright, so I'm going to create a quick video about data warehouses. So they are structured very differently from a normal relational database. They have dim tables, which are dimension tables, which consist of just descriptions of different things. So the course just has the course name, the instructor just has the instructor name, the cert has the cert name, the student has the student name, address, city, state, and postal code. The quarter has a quarter name and quarter year. So these are all dimensional tables. And then at the center of them is a fact table. And the fact table has two things. One, it has all of the dimensional tables as foreign keys and part of the composite primary key. It also has the measures that can be calculated. In our case, it's just average grade and credits. So I am going to create that database. Rather than have you watch me type the whole thing, I have pre-typed it, and I'm going to just paste it. Before I paste it, we need to make the database. So I'm going to right-click on Databases, Create Database. I'm going to call it Text Certificate DW. This is actually going to be the database that you will use for your assignment. I am going to go to the definition just to make sure that the template is template 0. I'm sure that it probably will be, but I'm just going to make absolute sure. So I'm making the database. It's taking a moment, but it should save it. Come on, save already. Alright, so we have temp certificate DW. I am going to open a query tool for that. And then I'm going to paste in my code. We'll talk through it. It's a little bit different than what I gave you in the assignment, though you could use that too, in that I didn't put in any of the primary keys or foreign keys here. Right? They're all part of an alter table at the end. And there's a good reason to do that, because sometimes when you're repopulating, it's a good idea to drop all of your foreign keys and primary keys and then re-add them. So it creates a script for doing that. So this is the create table statement. You just create table. This is for the student dimension, so I called it dim student. We have these fields. Okay, so the student ID is serial, which is an auto number. Student name is text, address is text, city is text, state is text, and postal code is text. Semicolon at the end of that. Create table dim course, parentheses, parentheses, course ID, serial, course name, text. Dim instructor, again, instructor ID and course name, instructor name. Table dim cert, which just has the cert name and the serial for the cert ID. The quarter has the serial for the quarter ID, but it also has the quarter name and quarter year. This is the complicated one. So all of the primary keys of the other tables. First, there's a school fact ID serial, which is this serial auto numbered for this. We have the student ID, the course ID, the instructor ID, the cert ID, the quarter ID. Those are all the keys of the other tables. And then we have the average grade, which is numeric, and we have credits, which is an integer. So following this, I have alter tables to add all of the primary keys and foreign keys. Alter table dim student, add constraint, pk dim student, which is the name of the constraint. It'll be a primary key, and it'll be on student ID. Same syntax for this, dim course, we're going to add a constraint, we give it a name, primary key, course ID. Dim instructor, same thing. Dim cert, exactly the same, primary pk dim cert, primary key, cert ID. What you name this is up to you, but they do have to be unique in the entire database. And then the quarter just has a pk quarter, and then the quarter ID. So school fact, I'm going to add a primary key, but it has all of those fields in it. It's a composite key. So you just repeat all the fields that are part of that key separated by commas. School fact ID, student ID, course ID, instructor ID, cert ID. All of those are part of the primary key. Okay, for this foreign keys, all of those are also foreign keys. So I'm adding a foreign key for student ID. It references dim student, student ID. Foreign key course ID references dim course, course ID. Instructor ID references, so a foreign key always references another table and a field in that table. We've got the cert ID and we've got the quarter ID. So those are all the different keys. So I am going to run this code. As long as you're good about your semicolons, you can run this whole thing in one statement. So I'm going to run it, and it says query returned successfully. So if I refresh the database and go down to schemas and go down to public, so to tables and public, and you'll see that we have all of the different things. If we look at like school fact and columns, we will see that it has all of that. If we look at constraints, we'll see that it has the foreign key and the primary keys all there. Okay, so this script, pretty much I want you to write it. This is one where I really wouldn't advise just making the diagram in Lucidcharts and then running it, because it doesn't do the primary keys and foreign keys properly. Alright, so this is the script. Again, it's all fairly easy. You can use, if you want, another option. I'm not going to run this again, but if you don't want to do the things as alter tables, you can do primary key and put that on each of those where it's the primary key, and then use the version of the create tables that I have in the database, which is this. This one actually puts the keys at the end inside of the table. You can do that if you like. So that's an optional. The optional way is to do the primary keys in each of these, and then to write to copy this one from the table. Alright, I'm going to stop the video.